I'm convinced that GoPro just does not care about making any more money. I mean, why would they? Their business model is almost exactly like Apple's iPhone. They take one or two features from a previous model, improve upon it, introduce one new feature to get everyone hyped about, and then slap an outrageous price on their product and push it out there, and bam, brand is the name of the game, and that's how they make profit. I mean, GoPro, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves after what you guys tweeted out the other week, especially right after I just got that video out about how we might get a GoPro Max 2. Everyone knows it, I know it, you know it. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. You can only imagine the disappointment that is boiling within me. So GoPro's official Twitter account tweeted out not too long ago, and I quote, "We continue to be happy with the performance of Max and don't have anything to share in the 360 spherical market this year." Imagine my disappointment when I read that tweet. If that's not a white flag to surrender, I don't know what is. You know what could help ease the pain just a little bit? Consider subscribing to the channel, or maybe buy me a cup of coffee to help satisfy my insatiable desire for caffeine. Every little bit helps, and I appreciate all the love and support the channel's been getting recently. So thank you guys, I really do appreciate it. Earlier this year, the CEO of GoPro, Nick Woodman, came out and made an announcement that GoPro would be supporting a 4-camera lineup towards the end of this year, possibly rolling into next year. My initial thought to that announcement was, oh, hell yeah, we're gonna get 4 cameras at the end of this year with GoPro, that's great. Nick Woodman explicitly even stated that the GoPro Max would continue to receive support, so understandably so, we all got excited when we heard this news. I never would have guessed that GoPro would pretty much abandon their GoPro Max. It just seems that like they're just more than content with their current GoPro Max, like they stated in the tweet, and that there is no added support to it, no plans for an upgrade to it, or sequel that we've been waiting for. Don't get me wrong, the GoPro Max is still a very reliable and great action camera. My issue with the GoPro Max is that it's starting to get a little dated. I mean, Insta360, it feels like has gotten a jump ahead on everyone else, and their tech is already 3 years old, and they keep improving upon it. I already discussed what I would like to see in the GoPro Max sequel. You can check out that video right over here if you want, but man, let me tell you, I was super excited and continuing to hold out on the possibility of a GoPro Max 2, and I was so confident that we were probably gonna get it on the 3-year anniversary this October. It pains me to see GoPro just kind of give up and settle for mediocrity. It almost feels like they're just going to Insta360. It's like, yeah, go ahead, we're gonna hand you the keys to the 360 action camera market, have at it, enjoy.
Listen, you, my friend's got something to say. Tell him off. Assert yourself.
That's my ice cream cone.
Great. Now let him have it.
You can have it. Say thanks.
Like, come on, man. Where's your sense of dignity? Where's your sense of competition? You guys make great action cameras too. It's just... I have a few colleagues of mine who had the Insta360 X2, and it looks like it's a blast to use. I have seen their work, and it looks like I could definitely have a lot of fun filming with the Insta360 X2. And earlier this month, Insta360 did drop the new Insta360 X3. I'm very intrigued to see what Insta360 has to offer with the X3. I know that they have now a 1/2-inch sensor. You have a 4K single lens recording feature, 8K time lapse, which that's going to be a lot of fun to use. And not to mention, you get 72 megapixel high resolution 360 photos. The best selling point for me about the Insta360 is that I can actually pair up my DJI wireless mics. Depending on how I set that up, it'll probably disappear with the stitch line. I would have to look into maybe getting an aftermarket adapter that I have seen online that'll allow me to rig my DJI, because currently Insta360 only offers an adapter for wireless Rode mics, if I'm not mistaken. But still, that's a great feature to have. I want exquisite audio when I am out capturing 360 action footage. Now, why would I consider the upgrade? Insta360 offers that 4K single lens shooting mode, whereas the GoPro Max offers the hero mode 1080p though. So it's a little bit capped there with GoPro Max. The ability to also capture high-res 72 megapixel photos with the Insta360, that's a fun feature that I would definitely be using. I can capture awesome photos for social media and definitely up my YouTube thumbnail game as well. So I would definitely be utilizing that high-res 72 megapixel photo capture feature. The GoPro Max currently only allows you to capture 16 megapixels in their photo capture mode, and you'd be able to pull certain frames from your footage at about 5.5 megapixels, maybe 6 megapixels, so Insta360 wins in that department again too. Another feature that's exciting with the Insta360 is the ability to capture high-resolution 8K time-lapse. That would just be a very fun, creative feature to use, especially in terms of like creating dynamic transitions for my content. So I really like that they offer that. Everyone tells me that the Insta360 app is a fun tool to use. It's very intuitive and user-friendly, and the Shot Labs portion of that app allows users to seamlessly pull specific content, like vertical content for their social media. So I can see how it's a blast to use if you're feeling a little bit lazy and you don't want to reframe everything in post. I'm willing to give it a try because the GoPro Quick app is a little bit of a mess. It can be a little complicated if you don't know what you're looking for and if you don't have the experience for it. I would love to try out the Insta360 app and see what it's about. Again, what I've heard, everyone tells me it's a blast to use and it's easy to use. So is the Insta360 X3 a worthy upgrade to the GoPro Max? I think the answer might be a yes. For someone like myself who has had the GoPro Max for well over a year now, it's still a reliable action camera. I still have a lot of fun with it, but the features are a little bit lacking. Getting the boost in dynamic range with a 1/2-inch sensor and then getting that 8K time lapse and then the ability to pull high-res photos and better frames for thumbnails and social media is a huge plus. And the biggest positive feature for me is the ability to use my DJI wireless mics. We want to capture exquisite audio so we can capture the 360 cinema is ours, folks. We can do that with the Insta360 X3, I strongly believe. I was hoping the GoPro Max 2 could deliver that cinema to us, but I think we're gonna have to wait another year. There's no telling when we may get the GoPro Max 2, and it certainly feels that GoPro is just tossing in the towel on this one. What do you guys think? Do you think it's time to retire the GoPro Max and make that jump to Insta360? If you have an Insta360 X3, let me know down in the comments. What do you guys think about that action camera? Do you guys enjoy it? What are some features that you think are gonna make it a good sell for me? Maybe it's time to look at selling the GoPro Max and then just rolling those funds into an upgrade with the Insta360 X3. I was looking at the 1-inch dual sensor Leica, but it's a little too expensive, and the fact that it's not waterproof, just splash proof. I'm looking for an upgrade that is gonna be reliable, fun to use, and I'm gonna be able to deliver quality content with. I can still deliver quality content with the GoPro Max, but the fact that it's a little bit dated now, we're talking 3 years old now, guys, and the fact that the audio, the microphones are great to an extent. When I'm out in the mountains, I think it'd be better if you guys get quality audio from that experience rather than just all this distorted wind noise and it's just, I don't think people would want to watch that or rather click off of those kind of videos. Let me know down in the comments, guys. Do you think I should make that switch and make the jump to Insta360? I've heard several people already tell me just do it. Strongly considering it. I like what the X3 has to offer, and I think it will certainly make the snowboarding content a lot more fun to produce, especially coming up on this season. If you own an Insta360 X3, let me know down in the comments, what is it about that action camera that you really enjoy? Is there a feature that I maybe missed in this discussion? Do you think I should make that switch to Insta360? Let me know down in the comments, guys. I want to hear it. Anyway, that's going to wrap up today's video. I'm Xander, and I'll catch you all on the wild side.